So there's this this slideshow I had to read in order to go to my culinary arts class Monday and Tuesday of next week. I've read through most of it, and I'm going to tell you right now, only the fanciest of the fanciest would actually listen to 90% of this stuff, because 90% of this is just complete nonsense. You don't even have to follow these rules. You can just why do they exist? And people call this manners. So let's take a look. Manners and etiquette. Manners refer to social behavior. How a person behaves with others. Table etiquette. Etiquette is a set of guidelines to follow when eating. Yeah. Guidelines. Like, what the fuck? Is this YouTube? How a person eats with others. Yeah, we know what manners are and shit. When you use good manners, you feel comfortable interacting with others. What do you mean? You probably feel nervous because if you mess up, you're going to be seen as rude or something. Come to the table, neat and clean. Remove your hat. Alright, first off, I can do what I want. You know, I don't wear hats in buildings unless if it's required or if my hair is greasy or something. But it shouldn't be forced. You shouldn't be forced to just take it off, and if you don't, you have bad manners and you're rude and shit. Wash your hands and comb your hair. Like, washing hands is normal, but combing your hair before eating? Come on, people. The makeup makes sense, though. Alright, preparing for the meal. Show respect to elders by letting them go ahead of you. I guess. Well, I mean, at least if they're not slow. Stand behind your chair until everyone is at the table. No, no, no. When I go to a restaurant, I sit. Okay? I don't care if anybody is sitting before or after me. I sit. Take your seat when the host invites the guests to be seated. It is polite to help the person next to you be seated. Alright, during the meal, guests should follow the host's lead to begin serving and passing the food. Be sure everyone is served before beginning to eat. No, when I see my plate, I eat. I don't give a damn. Take a little bit of everything out of respect to the cook. Unless if it's all, well, I mean, unless if there's like some bad part of it. Now we're getting into some fancy folk crap here. The napkin remains in your lap throughout the meal. Blot your mouth lightly and wipe your fingers as necessary. Place the napkin on the seat of your chair if you must leave during the meal. At the end of the meal, leave the napkin to the left of your plate. Specifically, the left of your plate, because we fancy folk. It need not be refolded, but it should be neat. It's a napkin. Just do whatever you want with it. This is where we start reaching shit. You have so many utensils and all this other stuff here that have to be in specific spots. Like, yes, I am a fancy folk. I'm going to have my fork at the 5 o'clock position on my plate. I'm going to have my salad fork like 0.00000 millimeters away from my plate. If not, then I'll be rude. I must have the napkin on the left of my... I need my salad plate to be specifically on this one side, just a few inches away from the main plate. And then put a knife at the very edge of one of your plates. Like, what the fuck? Okay, so just look at this. Just look at this. Dip the spoon into the soup, moving the far edge of the spoon away from you. No. Imagine having guidelines to eat fucking soup. Sit up straight, lift the spoon to your lips. Do not rest your arms on the table. Do not blow on the soup to cool it. Alright, what do you mean? Like, what if that burns my fucking mouth? Like, I'll be like angry grandpa and be like, goddamn, that motherfucker hot. Do not crumble crackers into your soup. You know what? You can do whatever you want to your food. You can even play with it. I don't even give a damn. And this last one makes me chuckle a little bit. Eat quietly in our culture. our culture. If you do not do this, you are not a cultured man. We are the cultured folk. Here, let me adjust my tie. Yes, we are fancy cultured folk. Sip your soup. Use the side of the spoon. Do not fill your spoon full. I say do whatever you want. Only babies need to have the spoon in their mouth to eat. What? What if there's noodles or little pieces of food in that soup? You need to put the spoon in your mouth. You can't just sip it. Might as well just skip culinary arts on Monday and Tuesday. And then look at the pictures. Like, don't put your spoon in an empty bowl. Put it on the plate that the bowl is on. Specifically at a certain angle too, because you must be cultured to eat here. Use a salad fork when a salad is served and eaten before the main course. Why do we even have a salad fork? We don't just have one type of fork that can be used for anything that requires a fork. If the salad is served as part of the meal, use a dinner fork. Ugh. Use any fork you want. I really can't take people that actually follow this crap seriously. Bread or rolls. Place your bread or roll on your bread and butter plate if one is provided. You know, why am I speaking like a country folk? Like I need to speak like a fancy cultured man. If parts of butter are provided, transfer one from the butter dish to your plate using the tiny fork supplied. If a block of butter is provided, use the butter knife to place the butter on what? Damn it. Didn't want to load. We're moving on. Finger foods. Bread or rolls, carrots, sticks, celery, corn on the cob, olives, potato chips, and most sandwiches. Hey, let's not forget about them damn chicken strips. Can't forget them fucking tenders. Alright, listen to this. Cut the food into small bits. It is considered impolite to cut all of your food at once. Take small bites. Chew your food slowly with your mouth closed. Look, I get having your mouth closed. Like, who doesn't do that? But you have to chew at a specific speed. What in the fuck going on here? Lift the food to your mouth. Do not lean down to your plate to eat. Why? What if it falls on you? That napkin on your lap's not going to do much. Can't protect your fucking shirt. Alright, so listen to this. If you drop a utensil, leave it on the floor and request a replacement. What do you mean? Like, let me pick it up. Of course I'm not going to use it again because that floor is dirty as all fuck. And let's be honest, nobody cleans it. Especially under the tables. You see what's under there? Like, there's crumbs and shit under there. But leaving it on the ground just makes me feel like a gigantic slob. I usually pick up my utensils from the ground and just set it to the side, and I make sure nobody uses it either. So that's fine. But I really don't like to leave my stuff on the ground. This here is probably the most infamous table manners rule that everybody breaks, and for good reason, because it's kind of stupid. So the reason why you don't put your elbows on the table is because it could cause the table to move around and possibly collapse, or just it'll cause it to fall on you, causing everything to spill. But if that happens, then that's not your fault. That's the table's fault. Because the table's weak as shit. If that happens, you need new fucking tables. Hey, look, I get having long tables with the base in the middle, Like that can rock around and stuff if you put your elbows on it. But really, any other table that's not long, that shouldn't be a problem. Take a look at this bullshit here. Silverware should be at the five o'clock position with the time with the tens down. Silverware should be at the 5 o'clock position with the times down to indicate you have finished. What do you mean by that? The way people indicate that they're finished with their meal is a empty, messy plate. Okay? Now here comes the napkin and having it at a specific place. You always have to have it on the left of the plate. Do not stack plates unless asked by hosts. Here's something that shouldn't really make sense. Why not? Why do this? When you're at a restaurant, you should always stack your plates because that makes it easier for the waiter to just pick it all up and put it on his cart to the dishwasher. Again with stacking the plates. You can't stack the plates even though it makes it easier. It makes the poor man's job easier. Come on, man. You son of a bitch. The server will serve all food from your left using the left hand. Yeah, you have to be specific with your hands now. You can't use your right hand. You can only use your left, okay? Okay? If you use your right hand, then you're an uncultured swine. Beverages will be served from the right. I am not kidding with this, people. These are just some nonsense. This is just nonsense. This is just complete nonsense. You can use whatever hand you fucking want. Why do we have these guidelines for eating? Yeah, back then when I first joined culinary arts, I found out quickly all the strict rules you have to follow as a waiter. You have to put the napkin at the left side of every fucking plate. You have to have these specific forks positioned at these specific angles and shit. And if you do it wrong, then you're uncultured swan. We got dining with the group here. Wait until everyone at your table is served before you begin eating. Like I said before, when I see a plate of food in front of me, I eat. Okay? Don't begin eating until all the food is passed. If service is family style. Continental style is more formal. The fork is held in the left hand and the knife in the right. Okay? After cutting one bite of food, the food is transferred to the mouth with the fork still in the left hand, tins facing downwards. Yes. This eliminates the transferring of cutlery from hand to hand. We got zigzag style. Take a look at this. Do not set the knife on the table, nor should you bridge the plate and the table with the knife, which means you can't just lean. You can't just lean your knife on your plate on the table. Why? Does that cause any problems other than, you know, maybe the knife falling on the table? But the table should always be cleaned. Food is lifted to the mouth with the fork chins up. The fork is held like a pencil between the fingers. Well-mannered people don't put more on the fork or spoon than can easily be chewed and swallow at one time. Avoid talking with food in the, you know, that one's actually good. Drink carefully. Avoid slurping or gulping. Well, I mean, slurping I can get behind because that can be annoying, but gulping, no, that's just natural, okay? Again, with the bridging of the utensils, your knife and fork should not bridge the plate, okay? Okay. When pausing during the meal, cross your knife and fork on the center of the dinner plate. Leave your plate where it is. Do not push away, stack it, or pass it to others to stack. We got some cell phone manners. You know, this is everything that Gen Z motherfuckers like me break. It is rude to use a cell phone during a meal. I don't use my cell phone while I'm eating at a restaurant. I only use it when I'm waiting for my food or if I'm done. Okay, read this last thing here. Like, look at this. It is rude to use Bluetooth type devices with your phone in public. If you're talking about loud speakers, then I can get behind that because who wants to hear, okay, I can go lie what you want. But if you're talking about like Bluetooth headphones or ear pods, then how is that rude? Like, maybe you can say it's rude because you're blocking out everybody else, but at the dinner table, nobody's going to be talking about you or asking you questions and stuff. They're going to be talking about other crap. You can always keep to yourself. Nobody's going to ask questions if truly needed. I don't know. But it still strikes me as odd, I guess, how it's rude to use any sort of Bluetooth type devices with your phone in public. When dining out, texting or opening your phone destroys the ambience of the restaurant. No, it don't. It is rude to use a cell phone in a public restroom. You know why you know what I'm going to say? I say, who gives a fuck? Let us do what we want, okay? Okay, I think this here is new stuff that I have not read yet. You can't afford the restaurant unless you can afford the minimum of 15%, the minimum 15% tip. If you have a problem with your food, politely ask the waiter to take it back. Is it really worth making a spectacle of yourself and making other people wait when they are finished eating? I mean, if you had a problem with your food and stuff and you had to take it back and wait a little bit while everybody else is eating, and then you finally got your stuff and everybody else is done and you're still eating, then hell yeah, it's worth making everybody wait for you because you're still eating, damn it. You just said earlier that, or maybe I didn't read it on camera, but it said, when the host says the meal is done, the meal is done. Good manners need to be practiced and used in formal and informal situations. If you become associated, I don't know why I said associated. If you become accustomed to using good manners, you are more confident, you are more comfortable, you can think about making others comfortable, you show respect for other people. You know, the way I eat makes me feel comfortable. You know the way I eat when I go to a restaurant? I sit down, I wait for my food, I eat, I pay, and then I leave. I just get the fuck out of there. Okay, that's how I do it. That's how my entire family does it. Alright, we got Western culture versus Eastern culture here. We have do not slip your soup. Eat everything on your plate. Keep your silverware in your hands as you eat. Eat the meat. Leave the starches. Then we got the Eastern culture. Noisily eating soup is a compliment to the cook. Do not clean your plate. It is an insult to the host that It is an insult to the host that not enough food was provided. Lay the chopstick down every few bites. Don't leave any rice. It is sacred and must be eaten. Sacred rice, okay? Then we got this shit here. It just looks like a gigantic bundle of shit. Alright, so this is all nonsense. Ain't nobody going to follow these manners. These manners are way, way, way too extreme. If you actually follow these manner guidelines, you are a very, 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 very rich person. You're the fucking millionaire who wears a fancy $1,000 black suit with a $10,000 fucking tie. You have a well-greased mustache, greased hair, and you have one of those, not glasses, but that single glasses thing. I don't know. The thing that has a chain that you usually see on one eye. You wear a top and you wear a top hat and you walk with a cane. That's the type of person you are if you follow these guidelines. Yes, I need to adjust my tie. Excuse me right now. You know, I still can't get behind not being able to cool off your soup, or probably any. Well, I can't get behind cooling off your soup by blowing on it, because it's apparently rude. Maybe now thinking about it, you can probably say it's rude because it can splatter, but that it can only splatter if you're being rough, like you don't want to do that. You don't want to blow so hard. You want just that's all you want, okay? I hope to God you guys don't ever have to follow these. Just don't follow these guidelines, please. If you willingly follow these guidelines, I'm going to come find you. I'm going to giggy your mother.